problem is not so much the availability of beds as the apparent unwillingness of those sleeping rough to take them up.
More people are living on the streets, more families in temporary accommodation, more families in homes not fit for human habitation, and...
Figure, how can the Prime Minister sleep in her warm bed at night, knowing her government's policies have consigned people to a cold Christmas?
When will this austerity-driven government say enough is enough and put an end to this tragedy?
I've been pissed on, I've been spat on, somebody set my tent on fire. Tried to sleep one night and somebody tried to rape me. I've been stamped on in my sleep, swept up by a road sweeper, been told I'm not a member of the public by the police. On Christmas Day, because I was sat outside the subway having a cup of coffee, the police lady walked along, she said, "You can't sit there." I said, "Well, why?" "Just having a cup of tea." She said, "Because it's a public place." And I said, "Well, am I not a member of the public?" And she said, "No, it's antisocial behaviour."
It's really bad, the homeless crisis at the minute. It's like serious. All these houses, like I was speaking to someone in Hendon in Sunderland, it's literally empty. They're full of Hendon, all empty houses. And this woman, she's a woman from Hendon, and we were sitting there, she goes, "God, all these empty houses and there's fucking homeless," do you know what I mean? It's why? It's because that's how the world works, do you know what I mean? They need homeless, they need people, it's just the world's back to the front. All we see is 0.01 of reality, so we're basically blind. Do you know what I mean? You don't know what's going on in the world.
The police just walk past. It does actually say on the side of the police card to protect, but they just walk straight past homeless people, they don't care. Unless you're sitting in a position where you're asking people for money aggressively, then they'll ask you to move. Other than that, no, they don't care.
It's people helping people, not the government's helping people. And basically that's what it's about now. You know, it's like what the governments are doing, as far as I'm concerned, they're trying to kill the little men out. Which I nearly, like I died in my sleeping bag last night. I'm still a little bit shaken, but I am. But to me it doesn't like, things like that doesn't actually worry you, you know what I mean? If I'm going to die, I'm going to die, you know, but that's life.
I was homeless for 10 months. That's when I found out about these places, which was horrible. Due to benefits not getting paid again, I lost my house, so I was on the streets in Acumbia, and obviously they've been great to us, like for clothing and stuff, for sleeping bags when I was homeless. That was about 2 years ago when I was homeless, and it was a really bad time. Didn't know much about places to go to, like food places, so I shoplifted a fair few times to get food, but it was horrible time. So yeah, so benefits is a real big factor in why these are here, not just for homeless people, but for people on benefits as well.
North East Homeless helped me out when I was in a really dark place and about to be evicted from my previous property. They put me in touch with another landlord who listened to my situation and basically gave us a chance at a different property. After I was homeless for 7 months, and if it wasn't for North East Homeless, I wouldn't be here now, to be brutally honest.
I started the charity because when I was younger, I had a little bit of a tougher upbringing. My dad died when I was 9, and my mum brought the 3 of us up. So I've got a twin sister and I've got an older brother. And I didn't realise till later on in life that she used to skip meals and that for her, so we could eat, and she'd miss meals, you know. So it was part to do with that, but I went through a relationship breakdown where I nearly lost my house, and that stoked like problems up and that, and I couldn't always pay me bills. I had to skip bills. I had to pay just electric and 1 month and pay the gas next month. So I know what it's like to be there. I haven't been genuinely homeless before, although I've done a couple of nights to see what it was like, but I just wanted to do something. So I started volunteering for another organisation a few years ago, and I was trying to make it better for my street friends by changing the meals weekly and trying to give them better quality food.
I got involved when I was coming out of rehab, and it was just to give something back. We had to do a moving on plan, and people were doing what this and that, and I said, well, and it was what I wanted to do was help the homeless. You see them all over the town and everything, you know, it's not good. I've seen quite a few people that's been braid up, and they pinch people's tents, you know, set fire to stuff, and it's only going to get worse.
A young lad that came to the table a few years ago, and he asked us for a hat and a scarf and gloves, which I given them, and then we're packing up at the end of it, and I got the 2 tables to go back in the van, and I walk around the corner and his feet hit us in the face, and I didn't know, I thought it was a branch, and when I looked I seen the trainers, he'd hung himself with the scarf that I'd given. Now that is like, that sticks there, and you may as well just, because I felt awful. And he could have done that any time. He could have got that scarf off anyone, because I gave him it, I felt guilty. So now when we do our collections, I don't do scarves and I don't do razors, because it's the same thing. It's like damage limitation, and it's like, that's what I say, it's when people want to volunteer for it, it's not all fluffy. It's not all, oh, there's a cup of tea, thank you very much, ma'am. It's not all that. You've got big issues and are like, stick with you for life, you know.
It's a joke. It's how it is, isn't it? It's just how the world works. No one really knows. Do you know what I mean? It's we're lied, basically. We're lied to. I didn't ask to be brought into this. Do you know what I mean? It's a joke.